Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Fabian. If you haven't ever been here before, welcome and thank you for watching. Today, I'm going to listen to Marina's new album, Ancient Dreams in a Modern Land. I have heard it a couple of times, but I haven't been able to sit alone with this album, and I personally feel like it's what I need, especially after hearing it the first few times and everything and the themes she's talking about. I just feel very related to them, so yeah, I just wanted to go into it. I love Marina. I have been a fan for well over 10 plus years, so it's interesting to see an artist continue to be so impactful even in this new age in my life. So without further ado, let's get into it. This is Marina's 5th album, titled Ancient Dreams in a Modern Land. And I am going to be listening to them on my headphones. I want to hear it in the Dolby Atmos thing that Apple released. I'm curious to hear the difference, so let's just get into it. First track, Ancient Dreams in a Modern Land. The very first track, and I wanted to do a reaction to this so badly, because Ancient Dreams, the track itself, literally had me by its claws. And I know it's been out for a while. Not that long, but long enough for me to feel like nobody was giving me good enough music, and she was all that I had, and I played it on loop. It's still good. I'm still playing it while I'm listening to the album. I just do think that I am burning myself out, unfortunately, already of it. But I've been wanting to talk about it because that song is so good and has so many strong elements to it. It definitely sets the stage for the energy that you're going to receive within this album. It sets up the lyrics, the kind of lyrics that you're going to get from her, especially considering she wrote herself. Ancient Dreams, the track, is so... Gosh, I just want to say it's so good because it is, but it's just a very special song, and it's so almost original in the way that it's exactly the evolution we would have expected, wanted, and needed from Marina at this point. So absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. And then I feel like there's a little flavor of a noise we received from Believe in Love last era in there in the intro. Similar. It's not exactly the same, but it sounds a little bit similar. And so it's nice. And so it's nice to see all of these qualities of herself that she's yeah, I've done this, but I'm going to do this and make it 10 times better. And she did that with, I think, the record itself, but the track as well. There's a wave of nostalgia still going on within the music industry. I think there will always be some sense of nostalgia. And with Marina, she kind of took a video game soundtrack and kind of incorporated it into this, and it was very fun because I feel like it's been so undone, where an artist would be inspired by something like that. Not saying that she is, but the retroness of the track gives me that specific nostalgia. That I could be the eye of the storm. But yeah, so there's that. Venus Flytrap. Literally. It's like eating a bag of hot Cheetos and then getting to your fingers after. Man's World and Purge the Poison. We'll talk about all 3 singles. it's interesting the topics that she talks about, and I feel like every song is so like heavy in its nature, and everything that she's saying is so bold. You know, you've got some notes in Ancient Dreams. You've got Venus Flytrap is actually like a completely empowering song about self and being who, you know, you can relate it as a fan, like, to who you are. In this scenario, like, obviously she's talking about herself, and she's very proud of herself and her accomplishments and the way she's done things in life. And, you know, that's why we're a fan of her. I really like Venus Flytrap. Has taken some, like, I've obviously, like, really enjoy it right away. But the way, like, I was completely, like, swooned in by, like, Purge the Poison, like, that energy being a pretty long wait from Man's World as a single was interesting, and I'll tell you why in a second when I talk about Man's World. But the way Ancient Dreams and Purge the Poison, when they came out, and I had the amount of time with it that I did, I, like, just completely, like, was so over it. We've really just got Venus Flytrap, and so it feels like that, like, wow, it's a really, really good song, and I'm just not at the peak level that I had with each one individually. But sometimes I wish I have time with an independent single to love it, but now I have so much to focus on with an album, and Venus Flytrap came out like a day before then, right? So, not a lot of time, but absolutely love it. Absolutely love the self-empowerment and the takeaway from it of being your own self-empowerment through this individuality that you choose, through the decisions that you make. And I totally feel that I'm always overthinking, and so I feel like that is very important to me so far. And then you get like Man's World, which is all self-empowering, and it's not just women. I feel like at first listen or glance, you can easily miss it as just being like a woman empowerment song, and it is that, but it's a socially, it's a equally social song of empowerment and growth, and it is related to that. Like, you know, in my own masculinity, I'm just like, okay, so I'm not like up to standards of men, you know what I'm saying? And so you've got the rest of the world, and I just completely appreciate her openness, her acceptability, like everything about this woman is just amazing. To share that in her art is a tremendous like thank you that I feel like she'll never understand on our end, not because she doesn't want to, but she'll never know impact in the way we live it from what she's offering as an artist, because she's the artist. She can relate by having her influences from her artists, but I don't think a self person ever understands the level of their work to another person when it's theirs. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that doesn't make a lot of sense, but I get it. So the album just starts off with a complete bang, and I also love the way that she utilized the single releases, because when Man's World came out, we thought it was going to be something, and it was a segue to this new era that we were very unprepared for, and it was a statement. It was really much a statement, and all this aesthetic, it was great, it was amazing. And then it took a really long time. It's like Purge the Poison came and smacked everybody in the face. It's an insanely good song. It is very socio-political. Love the segue from the releases, Man's World, taking its time. It's really created this genuine moments, you know, so I really love that. Then to Purge the Poison, and then just like everything has moved so fast from there. It's like a month we had Purge the Poison, almost a month we had Ancient Dreams, and then we had Venus Flytrap all roll out within the same period. And I don't know if everyone else has been following, but she's had her interviews come out in a few magazines that I feel like are pretty big, even though they're minimal. She's been on a few podcasts, and so she's talking about a lot of things and really engaging and being open with us in a lot of ways that we haven't had before. So I just listened to the podcast she did with Jamila Jahil, and that was completely a raw conversation. Like, if I ever thought that I was going to hear such a conversation like that, like, man, I would have asked to be prepared, because there's a lot of things, you know, you never really know what a person is going through in life. And so there's just a lot of, I genuinely feel like there's just a lot of love that Marina is giving us right now through this album. And I'm sorry to talk about it so early in advance, because we haven't gotten through the rest of the music, but I just want to say it before I forget it, essentially. Anyways, let's go back into the music. Purge the Poison. If you feel like you're in a bad fucking mood, you just have to listen to that song. What she's talking about is, like, about the world and shit, and it's crazy. Somebody made a song of being in the perspective of Mother Nature, but that song is totally, like, amped up, and, like, I'm a sucker for, like, live instruments, like, fucking guitars and, like, drums, and she's got all of them in there. All of them, and she just made she just rocked out. And it's the last chorus that is just like, it built, and then the last chorus like hits one more time and repeats, and it's just enough to like sucker me in and be like, wow, that was so fucking good, let me press play again. Highly emotional people. If I sob, you guys were warned. That song is, I feel like, especially because all the lead singles were nothing, exposed what we were not even prepared for, right? We have Man's Worlds, we're like social. We have Purge the Poison, we're like rock and social. We had Ancient Dreams, which is like, this is super fucking camp. And also, like, in a way, rock. Like, it's just a fucking party, dude. Like, even Venus Flytrap was like, you're a bad bitch, party. Like, so this being the first track that you actually genuinely hear, it highlights that she wanted you to hear it during this time. And it's just crazy. I have like two different perspectives playing in my brain with me on this one, because it's like, partially because I know that the rest of the tracks are very about the relationship she had with Jack, and her breakup. Well, I'm not going to say that it was him, but because we know that this was about her relationship, it's like very raw. It's a raw feeling because you can relate to it on that level if you're also going through a breakup. But this song specifically, I feel like, is her perspective of how he was in their relationship, and she's genuinely telling him, like, it's okay, like, and again, in a way, it's like a pass at, it's like an awareness about society, like, men are so criticized not to have feelings or show emotion because that was the macho way this entire time. Only recently in our culture are we now seeing men be emotional beings. Haha. I really appreciate it because, again, it's like a non-masculine man. I grew up so sensitive, and, you know, like, growing up, it's just like always like you have to, it does feel like you have to repress those feelings. Like, there's no other way to say it, and I know that's cliche, but, like, it is the truth. And, like, even now, in my own relationship, I feel sometimes I'm the person who doesn't emote as clearly as I should, or is in tune sensitively as I was before, you know what I'm saying? So, in a perspective, I feel like she's talking to me. I just feel like you understand, like, my genuine brain, but, like, I also feel like you're being very reassuring at the same time. And it takes a lot for, like, musicians to create, like, an inner feeling, and that's why you love and connect with it so much. And I wasn't expecting this, and I feel like I owe it to her to cry. You know what I mean? Also, like, during Man's World, I was, like, having, like, an awakening. I was like, I'm a man, but I'm not offended by this song. If anything, I feel so like we are in a very more fluid world, and the qualities of me that don't feel so macho obviously make me not want to live in a man's world. Like, and just like how fucked everything is, she's just bringing so much awareness into things. New America was rude for starting after that emotional bit, but let's do it. We could dissect this song, honestly. Professors and colleges will be studying this track for generations, I'm convinced. Because this woman is so intelligent. She went and genuinely like researched everything about America because she needed to create a song that was, I mean, America has impacted her regardless, and the world. So from an outside perspective, like, I understand why she did what she did, and she did it so fucking well. And I hate songs that are involved with America because America's disgusting. So when this came out, I was like, am I supposed to be feeling like patriotic? Like, it's the first song that ever has like been so forward about America, but it's not American. You know what I mean? It's actually fucking music is what you're hearing. And so, I don't know, my favorite lyric is like when she's talking about like jazz, the blues, like, you know, basically like who gave that to you, and it's like all these elements that were part of America. And the whole, like, the story is catching up to you. Like, bitch, history is literally, you're so filthy with all your lies and, like, all this disgusting, like, qualities within your country. And it's catching up to you. Like, now it's all coming to light, and that is actually how America is growing. So I think it's hard to see, with everything going on in the world, the positives. And this song just feels very healing. I don't want to say it's like a positive light for America, but I do feel like it's something that shows we are in a process of healing and moving forward in the right direction, if other people are noticing it as well. So I really appreciate that. Other than that, this fucking track, this production, everything about it is like, she knows exactly who she is as a person right now, and I think that's beautiful. It's not easy to be able to take all of the qualities of what you've learned, apply them, and like have it enhanced like this is insane to me. It's just crazy, like, the art that people can make. That's all I have to say. Pandora's Box. The song also is sad. Here we go. Literally, the way I have chills, like, literally the way that I have chills after that song. First listen, I was like, this may be, like, not everybody's favorite track. I feel like that, but I try not to worry too much about everybody else. It's really, at the end of the day, how I feel and connect to the music. And it was one of the songs that I was so intrigued by just by the title name, because I feel like I've never heard anyone talk about Pandora's Box or the concept of it. And she just says it simply, like, she doesn't touch on that too much, which I thought we were going to get into, just because it's part of, like, mythology. But it's totally fine. She kept it very simple and easy for people. Pandora's Box is, like, a thing that gets released and it's, like, not great. And I feel like that line alone is very relatable, because there are, like, the darker parts of you that come out in a relationship that you'll be introduced to once you get into a relationship, or if you are one and you're familiar with those things. This is a relatable song. And it does feel like that. Like, everything she's talking about in her relationship, it's unfortunate. Like, there's shitty feelings, and so it will bring out the worst of you in a person sometimes. And those are dark parts of you that you may not enjoy. But, fuck, sorry, my eyes are so dry from my contacts. But, yeah, I just feel very related to it. And then, like, when she, like, drops and then it, like, starts harmonizing, dude. Whoa, like, I cannot. And I haven't talked about this at all, fucking this whole entire time, but Marina's voice is not just her lyrics is what makes her special and known, but her voice is so unique. I have never heard a Marina song and been like, this feels very inspired by blah, blah, blah. Everything has always felt pretty fucking authentic. You know, it's just so masked by her uniqueness and genuine self, and she's always been so self-aware of that and so protective of that, and I feel like, at least in my life, I value that so highly. So yeah, yeah, there's nothing left. I love you, but I love me more. I knew I was gonna gravitate towards this as well because, like I just said about like the whole individuality thing, like, and it being such a high level of value, it tends to create some selfish traits in a person, and I feel that on a level as well. And selfishly, I think, because I know that I'm living my own life and I want my genuine happiness, I will always make sure that I love myself above somebody. And this is everybody. The only person I think I love more than myself is my dog. And he's probably, yeah, I don't know. There's that. I knew I was going to gravitate towards the song. Let's go. Holy fucking shit, dude. Ready to get into our feelings, these next two songs? We have to talk about this. I Love You, But I Love Me More is my, like, rock pop girl, like, dream. It's like growing up on choosing to grow up on more alternative music. This is just fulfilling everything, like, that I would need. And then it just so happens to be fucking Marina doing it and talking about this subject matter. There's no way. There's no way. So, fucking love that song. I may rank it. I don't want to rank this album, to be honest, but if I had to pick a favorite, I think that one's going to be on top of my list for quite a while. Fuck, dude. Love that. And I actually love how short this album is. And that's the first. It's literally the first. We're going to get into it. Flowers. This controlled beat in this specific track, if she wasn't singing the way she sings and talking about the lyrics that she's singing about, it would fall flat for me, but it does not because of... I know she's playing this piano too. Dude. Dude, that line. Holy shit. Okay, yeah. Flowers is really fucking sad. It's just the beginning, like, instrumental that instilled fear in me. And it actually happened with emotional people too. But emotional beings, emotional people, we're connecting things. It's like that whole track, dude, what she's singing about, how she's singing it and playing with the words and emoting this poetry. Because Marina's writing, we'll get into it, but this poetry, she's singing it this way. It genuinely, like, emits, like, emotion. And I care so much for Marina's well-being, like, in my entire life, dude. Like, I don't know why. I've never had this relationship with an artist, but I genuinely, like, worry and have concern for her and hope that she is happy. And just, like, listening to, like, the conversations in her podcasts and this album itself, like, knowing she's an air sign, and she can say all she wants. She doesn't feel so connected to being a Libra, but she has genuine, like, natural air quality mentality, and I just feel like, oh man, I don't know why I'm getting so, like, passionate about this, but man, to, like, know for sure that she went through some hard times and is dealing with some tough feelings and, like, what exactly they are, like, I feel for her 100%. I feel like I know exactly what she's talking about in a lot of these themes. So thank you. Like, I don't know. Let's keep going. Flowers. It made me really emotional. And this is We Are Fighting Jack. I'll actually say his name now. I'm not gonna say that it was him. I don't care. Like, men should not be making anybody feel these feelings. Like, it is not fair to feel that kind of shit. So I feel like this isn't my responsibility, but as a fan, I'm just like, gosh, what like can I possibly do to make her feel happy? But like, people just have to live life and work through things and stuff, and I understand that. But the protective side of me feels like we failed. And I will say this while I'm on camera. As a fan base, we have to do the best we can. You have to know like your limitations to joking about things and what it can do to a person, because you never know what somebody is going through at the end of the day. And just appreciate an artist's work. Like, genuinely, if you want to be a fan for the reasons of, I love an artist's work and what they present and how it makes me feel at the end of the day. That's where you become and can separate the line between a fan and a stan. I like to actually separate those, you know. The whole stan culture is funny sometimes, but it's very immature, and I'm happy with Marina that she's singing about matured feelings that I can level with, and I just hope one day she knows how this has impacted. Do you know what I mean? So, there's that. Let's go into Goodbye. I'm a sucker for, like, space terms and the whole concept of, and she uses a lot of references. I love it. I have never heard her sing like that.
You just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't.
I feel like I owe it to her to cry. You know what I mean? This outro, and like, dude, that fucking song hits, and it's the best fucking closer she could have worked with. It's everything. She simplified the like true feelings of her breakup and her relationship and things that went through it, and kept it very short and sweet and understandable and relatable, and I just felt every aspect of it, and I understood every aspect of it, and that's really hard to do in 10 songs. And make this kind of record the way that it is. Goodbye, it's a song for every person that you could have possibly lost, and at least this is how I feel. Like, relationship, friendship, any kind of relationship you have with a person, if you fall off, and it's like, for me personally, I have a hard time holding on to, I have a hard time letting go of people, actually. So I constantly find myself overwhelmed by having to really hold on to things, and it really is self-damaging, actually, especially when other people don't apply themselves, and I feel like this was partly the case here for her, and it makes me really upset that she went through an experience where she was holding more ends of the stick, especially as a person who values individuality so much. It's a shitty feeling, like, you know. So, Goodbye is a very nice, it's a very appreciated and loved track for me, because I can relate to it in all manners that she's actually talking about. I can relate it to so many things, and it's very comforting and reassuring that, one, I'm not the only person who felt that, and has felt these things, and two, it's just beautiful. Like, this track was just so beautiful, and reassuring, and it's like it's really okay. And that a lot of this record is like, hey guys, it's okay to feel this way. I felt it, and this is the outcome of it, and these are my emotions to it as well. But it's also like an really like, dude, I don't know how else to explain it. The album is phenomenal. I think I'm gonna go with, I really don't have a place in my heart to rank this album either, because I don't want to do that to this record at all. I don't want to put that kind of thing on it. You know what I mean? Not for an album this special. So I definitely think this is album of the year. I've been so kind of let down by most music this year, and there's been nothing super substantial or gravitating that I've really strongly held on to. I did have my moment with Lana's music, but I have my relationship with her is a lot different than my relationship with Marina as a musician. And this record, I think it stands out in every way. It stands out in its era. It stands out in its personality. It stands out in its music quality. And I really wouldn't know how to thank Marina for this, but she has my undivided and inescapable support, and I don't ever really care how annoying I get with it, but I do really love and appreciate this woman and everything she does. I hope she is happy. So, thank you guys for watching. I know it's been a little bit a while. I promise that I've gone through and I've recorded things for this channel, and it's just been really hard to get to with a lot of things in life. So I do apologize for that, and a lot of videos are going to be a bit scattered and random for a hot second, because there's things that I've meant to put out. So there's that. But yeah, this was Marina and the fucking Diamonds. Like, write all of your music. I will never... The thing that gravitates people towards her is her writing and how she writes. It's so poetic and infectious, and that's what this record is. That's exactly what it is. I don't want to hear anything else about it. A fucking amazing record. I cannot wait to just support this and just continue living in this era that she has given us, to be honest. So, again, massive thank you for you guys watching. If you do want to support this channel, it's the best way that I feel like I can describe this, because I don't desire anything out of anything, but I genuinely, if you want to support this channel and, you know, all the YouTube things that you could possibly need to do for that. So, thank you guys for watching. Just like, seriously, thank you. And I'll stop there. Bye.